We're smack dab in the middle of the longest, hardest winter most restaurants have ever experienced, starting long before it got cold. Just this weekend, another local pub, the famed People's Republic in Cambridge, closed for good, among the latest in a long list across the state. Those restaurants still open have been trying to survive largely on takeout, with indoor dining limited, and a few outdoor options that aren't quite as appealing with sub-zero wind chills and snowbanks around. So restaurateurs have been getting creative in finding new ways to reach their customers, including my next guest, who've added subscription services to their offerings. I'm joined by Anna Sortun. She's the James Beard Award-winning chef-owner of Oleana and co-owner of Sofra Bakery in Sarma, and Rachel Muzner, co-owner of Mamaleh's Delicatessen State Park, and Vincent's Corner Grocery, which is operating out of our other restaurant, Café du Pays, now closed due to the pandemic. Anna and Rachel, good to see you both.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us.
Anna, can I start with you? What have the last 11 months been like for you, both as a person and an owner? I know they're not separate, but you know what I mean. What have these months been like for you?
My feet haven't really touched the ground since, I don't know, maybe a few months ago. Very unsettling. A lot of day-to-day, moment-to-moment, a lot of changes, a lot of unknown. A lot of new things, new ideas, some really good ones that'll stick. Others I can't wait to never see or do again. But yeah, it's been a lot of moving around and changing.
Rachel, what's it been like for you?
The same. I think, when the pandemic first hit, we had decided to close our restaurants, and I said to my partners, okay, we have to take this opportunity to all have some downtime. And then I didn't stop working until Christmas. And yeah, I mean, it's just been really like focusing on one foot in front of the other and seeing, doing the best we can.
Well, you're smiling, and I hope Anna is at least partly smiling behind that mask.
Yeah.
Anna, the subscription idea popped into your head, well, your collective heads, you and some of your colleagues and family and that sort of thing. Could you explain the genesis and exactly how it works?
Yeah, well, it started with a conversation around Thanksgiving time, trying to get some more outreach with pies at Sofra. My business partner, Maura, reached out to our farm because we do these big boxes of vegetables that we call the gobble box during Thanksgiving. And she wanted to tack on some pies. And then the people at the farm, my husband and a really amazing woman named Rachel, were having a conversation saying, oh my gosh, I wonder if there's any way we could possibly help the restaurants during this, because they had set up a distribution system that really took off at the beginning of COVID, delivering CSA boxes all year. And so their system was already in place. And, I've been married to a farmer for 16 years now. So CSA is like an everyday word for us. It stands for Community Shared Agriculture. And it's when a customer pays up front for a subscription, basically a box of vegetables every week for the season. And it's sort of a promise. It's definitely built and based on community support. And it gives the farm some upfront cash to start up, and it also gives them an absolute guarantee that there's going to be people to grow for. And I think so there was a lot of brainstorming, and we thought, okay, well, what if we did a CSR? Maybe if we got some people who sort of promised to support us for a few months through this really hard winter, it would be a third leg that we could sort of stand on for stability to get through. And we have a takeout business. We have a very small, limited dining room at Sofra. It's only takeout. We can't let anyone in there. So this provides a third leg. And we just did it really quickly. It was sort of like, okay, let's try it. Let's just see what happens. And the response was overwhelming. The demand is high.
Yeah, so good that I'm told you're both sold out. The good news, it's working, apparently. The bad news is there's a waiting list. But so, Rachel, the notion is you pay up front, and every X amount of time, it may be weekly, it may be monthly, whatever, you either pick up or have meals delivered. So again, so people like me can know that something's coming and not agonizing about having to make dinner in addition to everything else. And people like you, like Anna said, know that there's predictable revenue in advance, so you can do some planning. That's the big asset, no?
Yeah, that's the idea. We're actually just in our first month right now. So ours is a monthly subscription. And I was going through the spreadsheets an hour ago with my partners. But that's exactly the idea. And we actually had a really nice response to it also. So it was a good, like an additional day of sales set for February.
Anna, back to you. You said there are a lot of good ideas you want to survive. I would assume that this is one of those good ideas that, frankly, shouldn't expire when the pandemic expires. Give me an example of something else you've learned of necessity that you think your businesses, your restaurants will embrace post-pandemic.
We've really come up with ways to equalize the pay between the front of the house and the back of the house, because our business has been a lot of takeout and these boxes, and before it was just 100% service, right? Dine-in service. It's forced us to come up with a system where we can basically distribute what was then tip money amongst everybody by taking away tips altogether and using an administrative fee. So now there's not a huge gap in wages anymore. And for me, it's the way to go. It's the way of the future. And this whole situation just forced us to change and figure it out very quickly. And it's working very well. And it actually is it's super exciting for those in the back of the house now. And it's fantastic. It's long overdue.
Some of whom we see working hard behind you. One last thing, Rachel, on the subscription services thing. You guys have been around a while, pretty well established. Can virtually any restaurant that has a local, loyal customer base do this kind of thing? Or is it expensive as a startup, complex as a startup? Is this for everybody who does what you do? We got involved. We have somebody, I think Anna facilitates her own, but we are actually with a company. We saw Shybird doing it first, and they were using this company called Table 22. So we got in touch with them, and they're facilitating the whole thing for us. And it's not expensive. They do take a percentage, but it's frankly less than those delivery fees that everybody talks about. And they've really been great to work with in getting everything set up and making it an easy process. So I would say, I think you nailed it with a loyal, neighborhood following. I think it's something that small businesses can do, smaller, less established places could try too. And we both know you both have huge loyal followings. I wish you both luck. I hope this thing works as well as it sounds, and I hope we get to the other side pretty soon. Good to see you both. Rachel, Anna, thanks.
Thank you. Jim. Appreciate it.